Wouldn't you like to know what mistakes Carew thinks authors make in marketing themselves? That's where we left off in yesterday's video, and today we'll continue on. Hi, this is Carma Spence, the Own Your Awesome Mentor, and I'm going to get straight to the point. Here we go, right back into the interview that was started in yesterday's video. What mistakes do you think authors make when marketing themselves?
The biggest one, I did a series of marketing classes on, what was it called? How to never leave your author's cave and sell a million books, which of course is an oxymoron because you can't sell a million books unless you get out of the author's cave. Well, how do you get out of the author's cave? You have to put on your marketing hat. And that is the scariest thing for authors because most authors hide behind their words. I mean, that's why you're an author. You can express yourself through your words. I think number one, it's getting them to just take these tiny little steps, like get their domain name and get their Facebook page. And when I do this, I say, look, let's just take miniature steps and we'll get you going, and then post one thing every 2 weeks of something that's near and dear to your heart, and find a 12 to 16-year-old in your family and, give them $1 for every post or something.
Right.
Have them do it. They love it.
Yeah.
Don't torture yourself. So that's part of starting to get them used to the social media idea. The second part would be, and I think it's one of the biggest ones, is you're the greatest messenger for your own words. And what I find a lot is that people, they don't pitch well their own words. They don't pitch their book well to strangers, and they don't pitch often enough, and they don't preach to the choir. So a lot of people want the best-selling book that everyone is going to read, and guess what? It ain't going to happen anymore. And strangely enough, probably the only book that is like that is my book. I know I'm really pitching it bad, but it's true. It goes to all ages, and it's been, so that's a very, very unusual situation. But I find mystery writers pitching to romance writers. I go, guys, and vice versa, although romance writers, they're amazing. They know who to pitch to. When you go to writers' conferences or you're trying to get agents and they say, what's your elevator pitch? What's your 30-second pitch? My son does my pitch for me. He can go, he's heard it so many times. And like a good politician, you need to say that pitch every single time like it's your first time.
So what is your pitch?
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
Hi, Karma. You want to know I'll tell you what my book's about. So, The Legacy Letters is a series of letters written by a father who would never live to see his kids. And these letters become their practical, moral, and spiritual guidebook for the rest of their lives. They grow up with these letters and decide that they want to share 40 of the over 200 letters that the father left behind in this small book that's about the same size as Tuesdays with Morrie or Chicken Soup of the Soul. So have you ever read that before, the Chicken Soup of the Soul or Tuesdays with Morrie? Oh, good. I'm glad you have, because this is sort of what it's like. So guess what's really cool? You get to the end of this book and you say, gosh, I wish there was more. There is more. The Legacy Letters Complete is coming out next. And guess what? It's already written. So there's an appetizer, there's dinner, and what goes after dinner? Dessert. So I've written all the music for the book, and it's called The Legacy Letters Music. So this all goes together as a complete package. And Guess what I get? Wow.
Yeah. And it sounds like your pitch has the appetizer, meal, and the dessert all wrapped inside it. So it's the anatomy of a pitch.
Yeah, the anatomy. I'm using that. Thank you. Can I steal that one?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And that's interesting, too, because I'll watch for the body language. The first part of it, up to that, the kids growing up with all that type of stuff, I can tell and then I'll veer in the direction of what's inside the letters, because I realize I'm sort of losing them there, and sometimes they'll say, it's everything from how to sell a used car and raise kids and marriage and love and traveling the world. And it's this whole, and they're like, so I'm really watching their body language to see which way I need to go. But you notice I put in there the Tuesdays with Morrie and Chicken Soup of the Soul, because majority of the time, people say, I've read that. I love that book. And sometimes I'll even start with that.
Right.
I'll go, have you read this book or this book? And they go, no, I really read historical fiction. I go, really? Well, okay, you won't like this book.
So you do niche it.
I do niche it, yeah.
And it sounds like your pitch is flexible.
Bendable, flexible. Yes. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it is. And you get to the point where you can look at a group of people if I know that they're whatever they're not so much political bent, but just how they might like. Okay, so if it's an older person, I'll say there's a lot of reminiscing about the past and about this cowboy talking about what it was like to grow up. Oh God, it's great. And they read it and they go, you know what? This was a walk down memory lane. The responses I get are truly extraordinary. And this is the most humbling part of the book because parents will come to me and say, "Thank you for writing this. I need this book. I need this book to raise my kids in this time and day and age because no one is reminding us what's important in life." And I get that constantly. One demographic I never thought I would get are teenagers.
Mm.
And actually, a group of teenagers decided to put on a play of the legacy letters, and I said, "Guys, go for it." They ended up doing sort of a dramatic reading of it, and I said, "Let's meet up afterwards because I want to find out why you wanted to do it." So we all sat down together and go, "Good, okay, guys, tell me your story. Why did you want to do this book?" I was really amazed. They said, "Our parents aren't teaching us this anymore." And I go, "What do you mean?" They go, our grandparents might teach us some of these things, but our parents are. And I said, "You're kidding." And I feel like Rip Van Winkle at that point. Like, really? Have
Right.
I just been asleep at the wheel the last 20 years? Apparently, but that's what allowed me to write this book.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really wild. And I get Karma. I got to the point. There was one. I'll tell this little story. I love telling this one. I was at a book signing, and it was at a Barnes and Noble. I think it was in Northern Arizona, and I was just dying because sometimes they're so slow. And I still wear my cowboy hat quite a bit. And I go to book signings like that, and you can see that on all the videos. And it always looks scary. Oh, there's the scary guy with the cowboy hat pitching books over there. And I have fun. I say, "Hey, come on over," or and I'll go down aisles. I said, "I saw you watching me. Come out, come on. I'll tell you about the book." And they're just like, "Who the heck are you?" But or the best one is when I'm in Costco. The kids love it. The kids will come by and they'll go, "Who are you?" I say, "I'm an author." And they'll go, "Mommy, he's an author." And they'll come back. So I'll get the kids to I'll pitch the kids and they'll go, "Mom, we have to buy this book. It's an author." So I'm really, really bad.
So you're like sugary cereal.
Oh my gosh. I've just gotten too good at this, but it's a lot of fun.
Right.
But at this particular signing, this mother and son, they went by several times. He was a teenager, and they went by, and I said, "Oh, come on over. I'm dying of boredom. So please let me tell you about my book." So they come on over, and she says, "What's your book about?" So I tell them about the book, and she says, "Well, that sounds interesting." I says, "Oh, interesting." I said, "That's the second deadliest word in the English language." I said, "Let me pull the interesting knife out of my back." And she started laughing. I said, "Look, I want to do something that's never been done in the history of author book signings. I'm going to guarantee my book." And she says, "What?" I says, "Yeah, trust me." I says, "I'm going to guarantee that if you pick up this book and you read the first page, you will turn to the next page or your money back." And I said, "You haven't even paid for the book yet." And she goes, "Wow, okay." And I said, "You too." And the kid was on his cell phone, did it all the way. And so she picks up the book. One, two, three. And he's reading one. And she puts down the book and says, "I'll take two books." I said, "You're kidding." I was stunned. And she goes, "Yes." And I was, so she goes away, she pays for it. And I turned to the kid and I said, "Look, I got to be honest. I never thought in a million years you'd even turn the page, let alone read it." And I says, "What gives?" And he looks me dead in the eye and he goes, "I don't have a father. I wish the guy in this book were my dad."
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I started tearing up. I was like, he caught me. He went right through the center of me and went to the heart of what happened. And now when I do this, sometimes people will just break down and cry. Sometimes they'll hug. It's almost like this Rorschach test of what people need to feel again in their lives to find some place that's important, to find meaning again. And they find it in their own ways. And then they tell me, and I'm like, wow, I'm a father confessor at that point. I'm not the author anymore.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah. Well, I think that's partly because your book is about life lessons. If it was about, I don't know, aliens shooting it up on an alien planet, maybe that wouldn't happen, right?
Alien life lessons. Okay, whatever.
That's it, alien life lessons. So today, the average book does not sell more than 200 copies. Why do you think that is? And we'll get the answer to that question in the next video. This is Carma Spence, the Own Your Awesome mentor. And If you liked this video, please go over to YouTube and give it a thumbs up. Then come right back here and write a comment below. And if you have questions for future videos, please let me know. I want the weekday wisdom to be something that you value and look forward to watching.